guys, welcome back to Semojo Homestead. Thank you for joining us. We really do appreciate it. We are getting beautiful weather this weekend, which is nice. It is like motivation to be outside.
Yes,
yeah. So, but it is the weekend, and so we are gonna do our highs and lows segment. If you guys missed last weekend's, it was our 100th video, so we had a little bit of fun with that looking back. So if you missed it, be sure to go back and check that one out.
Yeah.
So
that one was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
First, I just wanted to let you know that today we are going to be sharing about planting potatoes and which potatoes we plant and why.
And even talk a little bit about like kind of the nutritional value of one particular one, the one I'm most excited about growing.
Yeah.
So, but first we're gonna do highs and lows. I will go first. It's been a pretty good week. Spring weather is coming in, and so that's always like a mood lifter, you know? That's definitely one, like the weather. But I would say like what got me most excited this week was our peach trees blossoming. They are starting to open up this weekend. They are not, I wouldn't quite say full bloom, but they are almost there. Another day or two, they're gonna be full bloom.
Yeah.
And so that is really exciting. They're kind of our first crop that starts to flower and goes into that. So that is like, when I see that, it's like, here we go. Everything's about to do its thing for the year.
Yep.
So my low this week would be, it's work related. I had a client that clearly wasn't fully understanding what she was asking for and ended up not being real pleased with it. Had to deal with that. Everything was good. I feel like I'm pretty good, especially in those situations of kind of, you know, defusing the frustration bomb, if you will. And so it all ended good. She was happy, she was pleased, but just having to deal with that was not fun. Definitely a low. It just kind of had me stressed for most of the 24-hour period from the time that she first contacted me till the time I could actually get out there to take a look at it and walk through it and explain everything to her. So yeah, that's just never fun. It's like the downside of owning your business. There's no one to pass the buck up to. It all falls on yourself. Yeah. What about you? Highs and lows?
My high is definitely, I kind of have a couple. It kind of ties in with what you were talking about. We were able to get fresh mint again for tea last night.
Yeah.
So our mint is coming back. It kind of was cut back after that really cold weather we had. So it was nice to have some fresh mint again for tea. And also I did notice in the garden that we have lots of flowers on our strawberries. And so just the signs of spring and food and like fresh fruit is just exciting. So that was really fun. So my low would definitely be kind of a homeschooling low. Because there are signs of spring and good weather and we homeschool, it has been a little hard to keep the kids on track and focused.
I mean, who can blame them, right?
I know. They are like itching. It's summeritis. It's like senioritis, but it comes every year. They know that summer break is coming. They've done like their big, huge project for their history in their co-op. That's always towards the end of our co-op year. And so they have like 8 more weeks of co-op work, and they want to be able to hang out outside and have some free time. And I understand that. It makes some of those days very long because they just don't sit down. And,
it's like the teteacher side, you know, it's like the frustration of it.
Yeah, it's just getting the ball rolling and keeping it rolling is just difficult when this beautiful weather hits. So
I mean, I feel like that's the case for all of us. A little bit.
Yes, that's probably part of the frustration as well, is I wanted them to be done so I can go outside too.
Speaking of beautiful days, we got a beautiful day ahead of us. And so let's get started working in the garden and taking advantage of that.
Yes.
So, like we said, we are planting potatoes today, which I am very excited about. What we're doing is, since we're going to be moving these raised beds, we gotta unload them, get all the dirt out of them. So we're using that dirt to fill the pots that we're gonna plant our potatoes in. We are doing 2 different types of potatoes right now. We'll probably plant more later in the year, but one of them is the Adirondack blue potato, which is like a purple potato. It's calloused over, so you can't really see like the vibrancy of it, but it is a really purple potato. And the other one are just your Yukon Golds. We really like these 2 varieties because they mash down to be like really creamy potatoes, but there's also some other great benefits, especially with this one, which we'll talk about later. If you guys are liking this material, make sure you give it a thumbs up, comment below. Let us know what your favorite potato varieties are, or just which ones you're growing this year. That would be fun to hear also. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you know when we're putting out videos. It also is just a really easy way and free way to help us, support us, encourage us. So thank you guys. So the pots that we have are just ones that are left over from projects. That's one of the benefits of me being a landscaper, is that we can get unlimited supply of pots as long as the work is there for my business. I like to save the bigger ones for things like growing potatoes in. Now, the reason we grow potatoes in pots is because it makes it so much easier when it comes time to harvest them. You know, dig through and find them, but you know they're all gonna be like contained right there within the pot. Or you could just dump it out and then kind of sift through the pile to find them all. It just makes it easier because you're not digging through the ground. Also, what always bugs me is that when you're having to dig them up from the ground, it's inevitable that you're always gonna find one or bruise one or cut through one and damage it. This is a way that you can prevent from doing that, because if you don't know, when you harvest potatoes, they have not cured, which means they have really soft skins and can get damaged relatively easy. Doesn't mean it always spoils the potato, but you do risk it spoiling the potato. So there are 2 different types of potatoes, which you may already know this, but just like tomatoes, they come in determinate or indeterminate. Now, most of the time, the indeterminate ones are the ones that people will hill up and pile up that dirt so that those plants can continue to root off and, in theory, produce more potatoes. I've heard mixed things on that, but we don't have to worry about that with these, because these 2 varieties are determinate, which means they're just going to push out right there where these potatoes are. They're going to produce more potatoes, and then they're going to be done, just like tomatoes, determinate and indeterminate. I like the determinate because it's just a little less work, a little bit easier to grow, and you know, why not go for easy? They also, the varieties that we like to eat, tend to be more of the determinate type potatoes. One thing with the Adirondack Blues is that they are a little bit more susceptible to a lot of the potato pests and the diseases, so we just kind of have to watch that. They are very resilient to the late blight that can get on them.
Decide to cut our potatoes, our seed potatoes, in half, and we just want to make sure there's 1 to 2 really good eyes on each half, and then we plant those. We cut these a few days ago, so they're kind of shriveled on the inside, but they are ready to be planted, and as long as you have those good eyes, they don't have to be like really grown, but if you can see eyes, you're gonna get the growth. If you do choose to cut them in half, you want to go ahead and let them callus over for 1 to 2 days, and then you can go ahead and plant them. As Jeremy mentioned, we are planting the Adirondack Blue potato, And I kind of wanted to share a little bit about why we like to have the Adirondack blue in our garden. First of all, who doesn't love purple potatoes? I mean, they're beautiful. This particular potato will hold its color when it's roasted. It also will if you boil it. It makes a beautiful potato salad, and it's just a fun thing to bring to like a cookout or an event with other people. It's just a fun potato to have. The chemical property that makes it that purple color also is what helps it to be a potato that will help prevent heart disease and cancer. It's also a potato that's high in antioxidants. So it's a great thing to add to your diet and to your garden. The other thing I love about potatoes, one of the reasons why I love to have potatoes in our garden, is that it is a filling side dish. It goes back to that sustainability. Like if for some reason we couldn't go to the store because we were sick or because of this, that, or the other, it's a great filler. It's something I could add to a lot of different dishes to help fill the family, not just feed the family. So I also personally love to have potato soup when it's cold, and it is a family favorite. So I like to plant lots of potatoes so we can have potatoes year round. That is a goal of mine. We still have sweet potatoes, and adding these to our potato mix is just really exciting for me. I love growing potatoes here. I also feel like it's something that we get a lot of bang for our buck with. For every seed potato that we plant, we get 3 to 5 good sized potatoes from each plant. And that's not even counting the little baby potatoes that we also get that I can throw in and roast them with carrots or beets, or again, throw in a soup or a casserole. I just think that with the amount of potatoes we've been able to grow, it's definitely worth it to have them in your garden.
All right, so we didn't actually have quite enough pots for all of our potatoes. I think if I counted right, we had about 52, 54 potatoes that we put in the ground. And so we had to get creative. I knew that I was hanging on to that unusable, worn out wheelbarrow for a reason. So we used it, and so now it's kind of like, I like it where it is. It's kind of like a little prop kind of tucked into the area that sort of transitions from the end of the grapevine into garden. And anyway, so we put dirt in it, planted the rest of the potatoes in there, and I think it'll be really good. So it does have a couple of little holes in it where the water can drain out, so I think it'll be fine. It's not going to get oversaturated or anything. But I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, it'll be really pretty when it's growing. And
yeah,
just
kind of.
Potato vines.
And we may add in a couple of little fun flowery things. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
So
we'll leave that up to Selah.
Oh yes, we can make that her fun little project.
That's all we have for you this weekend. So thanks for hanging out with us while we planted potatoes. I hope you guys have a great week and be blessed.